So now today we are going to discuss about functions. Okay. So by using functions, what we can do in the real time. So by using functions, I can clean the data, I can manipulate the data, I can transform the data, and I can analyze the data. So these are the four things I can do by using functions. So what I can do by using functions, I can manipulate or transform the data, and I can clean the data, and I can analyze the data. Okay, what is cleaning the data? Nothing but removing the duplicate values, handling null values. Null values means replacing null with another value. Okay, so like a trim spaces. Okay, so all the values, whatever the data we are storing, right? That data, sorry, whatever the values I'm storing in a table, okay, does not have any spaces. Why? For example, ABC equal to.
Sir, I think you're not sharing your screen.
Okay, okay. Okay, I'm repeating. Okay, why we use functions? We use functions for manipulate, transform, cleaning, and analyzing the data. See, assume there is a table. Okay, now I want to generate a graph. Okay, I want to create a graph like this, so product count or product sum of sales like that. So that is nothing but analyzing the data. Transforming and manipulation means transforming the current value into another type. Okay, for example, I have value in lowercase. I want to convert into uppercase. Okay, that we call it as a transformation. Okay. Next, manipulation. Now, manipulation nothing but slicing the value or adding other value into this value. This we call it as data manipulation. And then data cleaning. What is data cleaning? Okay, here I have provided the few steps what we use in the real time. In data cleaning, what we do, we remove the duplicate values, handling null values, which means replacing null value with another value. Next, trim spaces. Okay. So why we need to remove the spaces? So here is the reason why. See, if this ABC is equal to this ABC, so here the length is 3, here the length is 5. So this value will become false. Why? Due to the spaces. If you are having paddings in trailing and leading position, right? This will give inaccurate results. That is the reason while loading the data into the table, we remove the spaces in leading and trailing position. Okay. Next, changing cases. We need to standardize all the cases. Next, fixed data type. Remove unwanted characters. Standardizing the formats. Filter out invalid data. Okay. So for these all these things we call it as a data cleaning. For this we use some functions. We'll discuss in the later slides. Okay. Now let me start this one function. So this function is classified into two types. One is single row function. Another one is multiple row function. Okay, what this single row function will do. Okay, single row function will take one value as input and it will print one value as a output. Okay, when it comes to multiple row function, it will take multiple values as a input and it print a single value as a output or single row as a output. So these functions are like coffee machine. See, in the coffee machine, what we do, we put the milk and then coffee grains, right? So then what will happen? This machine will process it. Okay, if you click on cappuccino, it will process and it will give cappuccino as an output. If you click on some tea, it will give tea. Like that, based on your inputs, it will give the output, right? In the similar way, what are the functions you are using? Okay, based on the function, the result will get printed. Any doubts? So I think you all know about function. If no, I'll go somewhat slow and deep. If you already know, then I'll go somewhat fast. I'm assuming you all know the functions. Again, I'm highlighting functions are classified into two types, single row function, multiple row function. So what single row function will do? Okay, let me go to this one, dataset, control A, control C, and then paste it here. Remove this one. This is batch 48, I think so. Object does not exist. Okay. Okay. Let me go here. Select star from customers. Okay. I have does not exist or are not authorized. Customer. Okay. Now I have a value here. Okay. I want to convert this value into uppercase. Then what I use? I use a function called upper. Upper is a single row function. Okay. Upper customer name from customer. Okay. Now what this single row function is doing, it is taking each row as an input and it will give each row as an output. So now here I am passing 10 rows as an input. Now what I will get? I will get 10 rows as an output. So what I get? I get 10 row as an output. If you take multiple row function, okay, what multiple row function will do? It will take multiple row as a input. Okay, what it will do, it will take multiple rows as a input and it will put single row or single value as a output. So this is single row function, this is multiple row function. Okay, single row function will take single row as a input and it will print a single row as a output. So if you are passing 10 values, it will give 10 rows as a output. When it comes to multiple row function, it will take multiple values as a input and it will print single row or single value as a output. Okay, this multiple row function is also called as aggregate function. Okay, this multiple row function is also called as aggregate function. So it's very easy. So total we have 5 aggregate functions. One is sum, max, mean, count, and average. Okay, so what these functions will do? Okay, if you start with count, okay, it will give the count of number of rows. Okay, if I have 10 rows, it will print 10. If I have 12 rows, it will print 12. Then sum, what sum will do? It will sum the total values in all the rows. Okay, it will do the sum. So I have a 4 rows here, 35, 15, 20, 10. Now it will do the sum, 35 plus 15 plus 20 plus 10, 80. Next, I have max and min. What max will do? It will print maximum value. It will compare all the values and it will print the maximum value in from all the rows. And what minimum will do? It will compare all the values. It will print lowest value uh, from the table. Okay, maximum will print highest value from the table. Minimum will print lowest value from the table. What average will do? What is the formula of average? Sum by count. So 80 by 4, 20. So these are the 5 aggregate functions I have. Okay. So by using this, I can get the required output. Okay. Select. So I have a product table. So star from products. Okay. Now let me use all the aggregate functions. Select count of price. You can put star also. Anything is fine. Next, max of price, minimum of price, income, sum of price. Next, average of price. What is average formula? Sum of price divided by count. From products. Okay. So how many rows I have total? 14 rows. What is the highest value in a table? 900. What is the lowest value? 25. Sum of all the values 3797. Average is 271. And here I am getting the same answer by using the formula. So if you see the table, I have taken this price table. So what is the maximum value in this table? 900 is the maximum value. What is the lowest value here? 25, 25, 25. No, 25, right? 50, I think so. So lowest value will be 40, right? Sorry, 25 is there. So 25 is the lowest value, 900 is the highest value. So sum will print, it will print sum of all this value. Okay. It will print sum of all this value. Sum of all this value is 3797. What is the average? 271. What is the count? 14. So to extract this type of aggregations, okay, we use these functions. Any doubts up to here? Okay. Next. So there is a problem with the aggregate function. Okay, we have an issue here. What is the issue? Okay, so you cannot use non-aggregate value with aggregate function. Okay, this is a aggregate function. I cannot use non-aggregate value, which means let me pass non-aggregate value, which means it's not a, this category is a column, it's not an aggregate function, right? So I cannot pass non-aggregate value with the aggregate function. So if I try to pass this one, right, it will throw the error. What is the error it is throwing? Is a not a valid group by expression, which what it is saying, if you want to use non-aggregate value with aggregate function, what you need to use? We need to use group by. What is group by? Group by is similar to distinct. Okay, this group by is similar to distinct. Let me go here. Okay, this group by is similar to distinct. What distinct it will do? It will group the repeated values and it will print unique value from the grouped value, right? So all the Germany will be one group, all the US will be one group, France will be one group. It will print unique value from each group. Okay. Similarly, group by also will do the same. It will group the repeated values. Okay, and it will print a unique value from the grouped value. Okay, along with that, what it is doing? It is doing aggregation on the grouped values. Now, whatever the aggregate functions I have used, right, it has applied on the entire table. Now, if I'm using group by, where it will be applied? It will be applied on the grouped value. So if I'm using sum here, okay, what it will do? 10 plus 30, 40. 15 plus 45, 60. If I play 10 plus 15, 25. If I use count, Germany 2, US 2, France 2. If I use max, Germany 30, USA 45, France 15. Like that, the results will get printed. So group by is similar to distinct. Distinct cannot do advanced aggregation, whereas group by we can do the advanced aggregation. Clear? So now if I write the query here, okay, same query, I'm putting group by category. Now what this group by will do? It will remove the duplicate values in the category column. It will print unique records of all category. Along with that, okay, whatever the aggregate function you have used, this aggregate function will be applicable on these grouped values. Clear? Okay, here you see. So now if here what I'm using count. So what is the count of this accessories? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 will be the count, right? So 4 will be the count. 4 will be the count for accessories. What is the count for electronics? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to here, right? Count will be 7. So like that, what it is doing, it is providing the aggregate result for the grouped value, not for the entire table. If I am not using group by, the result will be applicable on the entire table. If I am using group by, so the aggregate function is applicable only for the grouped values. Any doubts up to here? Team, any doubts?
No, sir.
You all know about this grouping functions, everything.
A little bit.
Okay, somewhere here, project dashboard. Okay, so it's not that much powerful like Power BI, but okay, this will give some good results for you. So let me create my dashboard, products dashboard. Okay, or X company or home dashboard. Okay, it's not powerful like Power BI, that not that much powerful. Okay, but it will give you good results. Okay, now let me go here. So let me print these things. Mhm. Okay, let me go select count star from products. Okay, execute it. You will get result. Okay, okay. So let me select the database batch 48 DWH. Let me execute again. 14. Done. Return to home dashboard. 14. This one. I can create a dashboard by using this. Okay, in the real-time scenarios also, Power BI in the background, it will call this one only, what we call like this edit query. Sales. Mm, done, back to here. Mm, Products done, sales, and then customer. Okay. How to rename this one? View table, edit query, duplicate, unplay style, delete, edit query, and then rename this one. Customer. Sorry, this is product, right? Products count. Okay, done. Back. Okay. Then edit query. This is sales. Total sales. Okay. Here I use sum of quantity sold. Okay. Then total sales product count. 104. Yes, this is the result. Product count, and this is edit query, and then this is active customer. Okay, done. Return to home. Okay, let me add duplicate tile. Let me add this here. Here I want to put some graph. Okay, edit query. So here what I'll do, I'll do this one, the aggregation. Let me take this one. Then I'll put sum of sale. Okay, let me execute. Invalid sale, sorry. Sum of price. Execute. You'll get a result. You go to the chart. Okay, here you can select a type of chart you want. I want bar only. But in this is how to change bar descending order direction label line. In the line. Mm, in the line, how I can change. This is category. And this is a sum. Okay, let me go this with sum. And then this is category line. X-axis column is required. Okay. Uh, Not this one category. Sum of ఇది. And then this is a category. I'm not able to do it. Let me go with the bar only. Okay. So in the bar, we have sum of price. Here, if you want, you can change it to max or average. Okay. Like that. Now let me execute again. Okay. Then return it. So you can see there is a graph here, and here you can see the sum of sales as well as this graph. Like that, I can create my dashboard. Okay. And then I can publish it. Okay, the dashboard is available. Okay, so if you select the warehouse, it will every time it will run. Whenever the values update, these values will get updated. So actually, in the real-time scenario, what we use Power BI like that. But you can generate the your custom dashboards in the Snowflake. Any doubts up to here? Any doubts? Okay, again I'm repeating. Okay, this is my Snowflake, right? So in the real-time scenario, okay, what will happen? So there will be a multiple source systems. We will load data from multiple source system into Snowflake. Okay, once this is loaded, right, we have three layers: bronze, silver, and gold. Okay, as a data engineer, we will process the data from here to here, from here to here. Okay. Now, once the data has been transferred up to here, what the Power BI will developer will do, he will connect with the Snowflake database. He will create the dashboards. Okay. Now, the thing is like before developing on the Power BI, okay, product owner want to know how the graphs need to be look like. What are the things he required? So those things he can design with the help of this Snowflake dashboard. Clear? Any doubts? Yeah, I think you all know what is Power BI, what is Tableau. You know the BI tools, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So before developing anything on the BI tools, right? So he want to see how what are the things he required on the dashboard. So first he will visualize all those things here. Then he will develop on the Power BI. So this is for the reference purpose, this
Okay.
dashboard. And this is for internal purpose for the product owners. So it doesn't have that much customizations like Power BI or Tableau, but it will give good results for the reference purpose. Okay. So now you have idea about the aggregate functions, how the aggregate functions are helpful in creating the dashboards. I think it's clear for you. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. I think it's clear. So let me go with the next topic, single row function. Okay, now there is a one more concept called having. Okay, now in my output, right? Okay, in my output, I have some result. Okay, now I want to print count greater than 4 or 5. Okay, now what I use? Actually, what we use for doing the filtration? What is the class we use for the doing the filtration? Where class, right? So where count star greater than 5. Now, database will throw the error. Okay. Now, Snowflake is throwing the error. What it is throwing? invalid aggregate functions in where class. What it is saying, you cannot use aggregate function in where class. Now what I need to use? I need to use having. What I need to use? I need to use having. So having is the subset of group by. So without group by, having will not work. Having count greater than 5. Okay. Now I can do the filtration. Okay. Now in the having class, in the having, I can do aggregate filtration, aggregate value filtration, as well as I can do normal filtration also, which means I can apply this filtration on the normal values and category equal to electronics. So here in the having class, I can do the aggregate filtration as well as normal column filtration. Okay. So I'll not get any error. But in the real time scenario, we use where for the normal columns and we use having for the aggregate columns. Why? I'll tell you. So let me cut this one.
Sir, so the group by works with normal columns or only aggregate functions?
No, see, this will work with this group by will work only on the normal columns.
Okay. But we used aggregate function, right?
Yeah, this yes, aggregate function. See, again, I'm repeating this group by is similar to distinct. What it will do, it will group the repeated values and it will print unique records in the select class. When you are calling in select class, this will print unique records. Okay.
Okay.
So, along with that, it will support advanced aggregation, which means whatever the aggregate functions you are using, right? If I'm not using group by, this aggregate function will apply on all entire table. If you are using this group by, right, this will be applicable on the repeated values.
Okay.
Okay, one more thing, whatever the columns you are passing here, right, that need to be mentioned in the group by. So if I'm using product name here, which is non-aggregate value, so if you are not mentioning in the group by, it will throw the error.
Oh,
You need to mention whatever the non-aggregate values you are calling in the select class that need to be mentioned in the group by. That is the thumb rule.
okay.
Okay. Now, so coming back, so for having will support both aggregate filtration and non-aggregate value filtration. But in the real-time scenario, to do normal filtration, we use where class. For doing aggregate filtration, we use having class. Why? Why? Because, okay, assume there is a table with the 10 crores records. If you are grouping the 10 crores record, what will happen? So we need a more compute cost, which means we need a more larger warehouse, like a large or extra large warehouse for processing the data. But if you are doing filtration before grouping, now what will happen if I do the filtration? Now the records will become 80 lakhs or 90 lakhs. Okay, for processing this, for grouping that 90 lakhs records, I just need a small or a extra small server. That's it. So I can save so much of compute cost. Okay, so that is the reason why to increase the performance of the query, we do normal filtration in the where class and aggregate filtrations in the having class. So this where will be written before group by, having will be written after group by. So that is the difference between where and having. Clear? Any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so practice it. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, so I don't know like what is the background. So you people are applying for the experience role or fresher role. So that is the one of question I need to ask.
Pressure rule, sir.
Fresher only, right? So then this is the important interview question. Okay, so if you are applying as a fresher, if you are going for Snowflake interview from SQL, they may ask you 3 to 4 questions. Okay,
Okay.
so as a fresher, you will get a question like what is the difference between drop, delete, and truncate. Okay. Next,
Okay.
in the filtration, they will not ask much questions. Okay. So you'll not get any questions on filtration and sorting. And then coming to here in the functions, you will get a number of questions. In that first question is what is the difference between group by and having? Okay. So this where we use for filtration before aggregation. This having we use filtration after aggregation. So this is before, this is having. So like that, you need to write your notes and you need to answer. I will provide you handwritten notes. Okay. You can use that one for preparing for the interview. Okay. So that's it about this aggregate functions with the group by. Okay. So, and I have covered this dashboard concepts in the Snowflake also. Coming back, a single row function, we have more than 50 plus single row functions. Okay. So all those things we don't require. Okay. What are the things we use in the real time and what are the important for the interview? Only those function I will highlight. Okay. Practice those things. That's it. That is enough. That is more than enough. Okay. So as highlighted before, this single row function is more than we have 100 function, 100 plus functions are there. So that is the reason. Okay. We need to categorize those functions. Okay. I have categorized this single row function into 5 types. What are the types? Okay, you can remember with the data type. Okay, you can remember this thing with the data type. So if you are working with a string column, right, string data type column, then you apply this character function. Okay, so if you are applying functions on numeric columns, right, integer, float, all those things, we apply this number function. Okay, if you are dealing with the date functions, you go date value, data type columns, then you go with the date function. And along with these three, we have two more other functions. What are the two more other function? One is a general function, another one is conversion function. Usually this general function, why we use general function for replace null value with another value. We use this general function and to categorize the data. Okay, so if I have a table, okay, so I want to categorize the rows. Okay, if the price is greater than 500, this is a premium product, this is a cheap product, like that. If I want to categorize something, right, I use this general function. Okay, so along with that, we have conversion function. Why I use conversion function? Okay, while doing transfer information from this layer to this layer, this layer to this layer, assume this is a table. Okay, so here the ID column is varchar. Here the ID column is integer. Okay, while inserting the value into this integer table, okay, integer column, I need to use some conversion functions like cast for inserting the data into the another table for better validation and better results. I use this conversion function. Okay, so today we don't have that much time, right? So we'll go with the character function. I'll take 10 more minutes. Okay, I'll end up the class. Okay, so let me start with the character function. Okay, so character function accept character value as input and return character or numeric value as an output. Okay, done. So again, I have classified this character function into two types. One is a string function and another one is manipulation function. What this case conversion function? In the case conversion, we have three functions: upper, lower, initial caps. What these things will do? Let me go here and then select upper. Let me go with the customer name, same function I have written in the top. Mhm. Okay, these are the three init cap. Okay, these are the three functions we have. Okay, so whatever the data I'm storing in the database, okay, whatever the data I'm storing in the database, all the characters should be in the single format. Either it should be in uppercase or lowercase or initial caps. So then only we can do the manipulations or transformations or analysis easily. Why? I'll execute this one. See, so in the database, we need to store all the values either in the uppercase or lowercase or initial caps. Why? To do transformations or manipulations or analysis easily. So all these values should be what we call in a proper case. Okay. So if you take here in the group by, okay, if the let me go here. Okay, if I'm applying this, okay, if there is a value called small electronics, so what will happen? This electronics will get 4 and the small electronics will get 2, even though the both values are same. If you are using different cases, right, the results will vary, so you'll get a wrong results, which is not good for the business. That is the reason why whenever we are storing the data, we try to maintain all in a one proper case value, either upper, either it lower, or either in initial caps. We will store all the values. So, for example, if I'm getting a raw data which is in lower case, okay, assume there is a file here, okay, Excel file. I have loaded this Excel file into this table. Okay, what are the values are there in the Excel or in lowercase? Now I want to load this value here. Okay, where in my business tables I used to store everything in initial caps. Then what I use this initial caps function while loading data from here to here. So that is these are the functions which help in the real time for storing the proper values in a table. So what are the functions we have for changing the cases? Upper, lower, and initial caps. This is uppercase, this is a lowercase, initial caps. Initial caps means first letter will be capital letter, remaining all will be the small. Okay. Next we have okay. Next we have manipulation functions. Okay. So we are manipulating the data. See, I'm passing one value and I'll get number as output. So here what I'm doing, I'm manipulating the data. I'm doing some transformation for printing the output. So we have length, substring, instring, trim, concat, replace, helpad, rpad, left, right functions are there. We'll go one by one. So what this concat will do? What exactly concat will do? It will concat one or two columns or one or two values into a single column or a single value. What concat will do? It will take two columns as an input and it will print one column as an output. Okay. Let me go here. Now I have a customer table, right? So I have a customer table, select start from customer. Okay, in my actual table, okay. So they want to print this phone number, email address as a single value. Okay, customer and details. Okay, personal details. There are only two columns. Okay, so then what I do? Select customer name, comma. So I have only personal detail table. Okay, ignore the spelling mistakes. Personal details. This is the column I have in the other table from customer. Now, what are the values will be there in the personal table? All these three values. Okay, what I need to write? Okay, let me go. This phone is a static value, phone. Again, I'm passing one more value, comma, phone. Okay, next I have email. And then here I have email column. And then I have address. Okay. Now, like that, I'll pass multiple values. Okay, where I have written wrong. Select customer name, comma, this unsupported select list element. Okay, I didn't use function here. Concat is the function I'm using. Okay. Now you can see in the other table I have two columns. So what I have done, I have concatenated these values and I'm passing into the other table. Getting it right? Any doubts? Any doubts up to here? About this string function, any doubts? Anyone having any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can ask me. If it is very fast, you need to tell me. Okay, I'll go a little bit slow, but I need some inputs from you.
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So these
Yeah,
are the
no
personal
doubts.
details. Yeah, these are the personal details. Okay. I have by using concat, I can store multiple values in a single column. Okay. Next, apart from, so I think you are very familiar with these things, I'm assuming. So I'll go a little bit fast from here. Okay, then we have a length function. What it will do, it will print length of the value. Okay, if there is a padding will also consider as a single value. So here my name is file length character. Even though my name is file length character, I'm getting output as a 7. Why? Because it is allocating a value for the padding also. So padding will be considered as a single value. Okay, so this length will take any value as input and it will print length of the value. Then I have a function called replace. Okay, what it replace will do, it will replace one value with another value. Okay, in the real-time scenario, by mistake from the files you may get special characters. Okay, to remove the special characters we use this replace function. Next we have a trim function which
Sir,
we,
I have a question.
yeah,
So we do all these before the analysis, right?
yes we
These
do,
are all cleaning steps.
yes we do before
Okay.
analyzing. Okay, so again I'm repeating. Okay, you are attending for a data engineering course. Okay, let me go with the LinkedIn profile. Mhm. So why we have a number of database in the market? Why we are using Snowflake? Snowflake is the one of the powerful storage database. Okay, where it can store unlimited data. Like you can store trillions of records in the Snowflake. Whereas other databases there is a limitation. So there is a limitation in compute or there is a limitation in storage. But in the Snowflake we don't have any limitations. Okay, that is the reason why all the clients are migrating towards Snowflake or Databricks. Okay, there are only two application as of now in the market. Okay, so those two are made for processing huge volume of data. Okay, the one is Snowflake, another one is Databricks. If you learn Snowflake, hardly it will take 10 days for you to learn Databricks also. So if you properly understand the Snowflake, right? So it will take hardly 10 days to learn the Databricks. Clear? Okay. What is your role as a data engineer? Okay. You will have multiple source systems. You may have database, product, tables, apps, sheets, APIs like that. You will have multiple source systems. What is your role? By using this Snowflake or in the Snowflake we have inbuilt ETL tool, or you may use another third party ETL tool. Okay. By using the ETL tool, what you do, you will connect with all these source systems, you will extract all the data and you will load it into the bronze layer. Okay, from bronze layer by using either PySpark script or SQL script or Python script. Okay, you will transform the data from this layer to this layer and from this layer to this layer. So this silver layer is for storing historical data. This is for storing raw data. Okay, what we do, we load all the raw data. Will from loading, see, sorry, here we have a raw data, right? So whatever the data we have here, that we load it into the silver layer after cleaning. So this is what we are doing while before loading the data into the silver layer, we are cleaning the data. Okay, cleaning nothing but we are using functions to do the cleaning. That's it. Okay, so from here, whatever the business data required, right, for generating the reports, that will be transformed to this gold layer. Here we do the data modeling, nothing but we have fact and dimension tables, so that the BA developers or data scientists can easily connect with these tables and they can they can fulfill the business requirements. So we already generated these dashboards, right? In the Snowflake, I already shown, but that is not much customizable. So that is the reason they use Power BI. This Snowflake dashboard is for only reference purpose, how the dashboard need to look like. But actual dashboards will be developed in the BI tools like Power BI, Tableau, ClickSense. Clear? Any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Okay, again I'm repeating, for to do this data cleaning, from move the data from here to here or here to here, we apply these functions. Okay, so SQL will have functions, Python will have functions, PySpark will have functions. It almost similar. If you understand the function properly, you can apply the same on the Python as well as PySpark also. Okay, this same architecture will be followed in the Databricks also. Databricks is designed like they cloned Snowflake. Okay, if you go with the Databricks videos, you can easily understand they cloned everything. Whatever the Snowflake is providing, right? The UI, all those things, whatever the Snowflake is providing, they cloned it from Snowflake only. So Databricks is very similar to Snowflake, but this Databricks will follow Hadoop architecture. Okay, here Snowflake will follow his own architecture. They will not following. Okay, they have built their own architecture. That is the reason they have renamed their architecture as a Snowpark. In the Databricks,
This
you use PySpark.
also have the same queries like select, group
Yeah,
by, order
queries
by.
will not change. Okay, queries will not change. Okay, if you go with the Python, right, SQL will be almost same. If you take the Python, the libraries will change between Snowflake and Databricks.
Okay.
Okay, so if you understand the Snowflake properly, you can play with the what we call with the Databricks also.
Okay.
So both are designed for the same, handling, extracting, transforming, and loading huge volume of data. So if you take any other tool in the market, they cannot, those are not applicable for huge volume of data. So those products will get hung or it will not work, okay, for huge volume of data. So only Snowflake and Databricks are designed for the same. Okay. There are other applications also like BigQuery, Redshift like that, but those are not up to mark when compared to these guys. Okay. So coming back. Okay, so we are at here. Now we are here at trim. Okay, what trim will do? It will remove the paddings. So it will remove, even though if you have multiple paddings, okay, before the value or after the value, trim will remove those paddings before and after the value. Okay, but this trim will not remove the padding between two values. It will remove only leading and trailing position. Okay, next. We have a concept called nested function. If you are using function inside another function, that we call it a nested function. How this will get executed? First, inner function will get executed. Based on the result of inner function, outer function will get executed. This is also one of the important interview question. What is nested function? If you are using function inside another function, that we call it as a nested function. How it will get executed? First inner function will get executed. Based on the result of inner function, outer function will get executed. Okay. Okay, next. Uh, we have this substring. Okay, why we use substring? To slice the value. Okay, here I have three function. One is left, one other one is right, and the third one is substring. Okay, concat is used to join two or more columns into a single column. This substring will help us to break a single value into multiple columns. Okay, so that like that you can remember. Okay, and then we have a thing called position. What this position will do? Position will tell you this particular value position. See where the B is available here, 1 and then 2. So in the second position, this position will give the result. Okay, so these are the main string functions we have. Okay, let me write some query here. So now you tell me, okay, you tell me, select start from customer. Okay, I'll give some examples, then I'll give some task. You tell me how to solve that one. Now here, I have this. Okay, I have this. Now, 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 I want to slice this value. Okay, I want to slice this value. Okay, to slice this value, what is the function I have? I have a function called left, and then left customer name comma 4 or 5. Then I have a function called right. Then I have a function called substring. In the substring, I need to tell where, from which point you need to start slicing. I want to start it from second point, okay, up to 3 length character from customer. Now, what this substring will do? Let me put customer name here. Okay, this is the actual value. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm slicing from left side. What is the length of the character? 5. So what it will do, it will slice this value 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 from the left side. So you'll get like this. What right will do, it will slice the value from the right side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What substring will do? In the substring, you will mention the starting position. So where I want to start? From the second position. What is the length I have? 3. Okay, so the length of the value is 3. So it will start the position and it will print 3 characters. If I'm not defining the length of the value, it will print the entire value. Okay, now I have one more thing called position, right? So select customer name, comma, position. Okay, here I'm passing customer name. Okay, let me put A in customer name from customer. So what it will tell you? It will tell you what is the position of A here. Okay, in the Rahul Sharma, the A is at second position, A is at fourth position, like that. Now you tell me. Okay, I have this column, address column. I want to split this column into 2 columns. One is city, and then another one is as a state. Okay, now you tell me how to write the query. Again, I'm repeating the question. I have address column. I want to break this column into single column into multiple columns. Nothing but 2 columns. One is a state, another one is city. How I can do? I am giving the hint also. By using substring and position, you can extract the result. So now you tell me how to write the query. Select.
Address.
Okay, so address, or I'll put star directly, star, comma. Yeah, tell me. Substring. Okay, so in the address, I want first I want to extract city, right? So I want only Mumbai. Okay, but I cannot put the length, right? Because Mumbai has the length of 6, Delhi is having the length of 5. Okay, I cannot use length directly.
So you find the position of the comma
Yes, correct.
and then you place that in
Yes.
the first parameter.
So in the address, okay, I need to mention the position of column. Okay, so position of comma
Yes.
in address.
Yeah,
Now
and you
this
leave the
as
second
a
one.
city. Okay, so now this is a position min. So this is the length, right? I want to start it from first position. So it will start from M and this is the length of the value, right? So what is the length here? The position is like assume it's a 6. I'll get the 6th length character. This is as a city, comma. Same thing for the state. How I will write? So it need to start from this position to the entire length. So I need entire length, right? That is the reason I'm not mentioning any length here. From customer. Okay. You see, I got Mumbai and Maharashtra, but there is a commas here. If I want to remove these commas, what I'll write? I'll put -1. So assume this position is 6. I'm putting -1. Now the position will become 5. Okay. Here I want to move the position one step front, right? That is the reason I'm putting +1 here. Now these commas will get removed. So clear? Any doubts? Yeah, any doubts?
No doubts.
Clear, right? Yeah, done.
Yes.
So can we take a break here? Okay, we'll connect tomorrow. So you can practice up to here, up to string function. There are a lot of things we need to discuss, but a practice up to here. Okay, thanks all. We'll connect on the same time. Okay, so I came from hometown. I stuck in the traffic. That is the reason I had taken lately. But tomorrow I'll be on time.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.